Welcome, friends, to the supremely spectacular, superpowered Saturday morning show. Join our marvelous and mischievous miners of mirth and merriment as they battle the malicious and malevolent forces making moves to manipulate Halcyon City. Tavern Watch is proud to present The Mavericks.
Hello, dear listener, and welcome to another episode of Tavern Watch Plays, where we, the fine folks at Blizzard Watch, play a role-playing game for your amusement and delight. Today, we are playing Brendan Conway's Masks, published by Magpie Games, a role-playing game powered by the apocalypse, telling the stories of teenage superheroes, emphasis on both sides of teenage and superheroes. And, of course, with me, I've got some fine folks here playing some extremely good characters. I'm going to start with our editor-in-chief, Liz Harper. Tell us who you're playing today.
Oh, hello. I am playing Charlie, and Charlie is kind of... someone told her she had to be here. She wasn't really trying to be a superhero, but she has these powers. She can create illusions. She's good at telling when people are untruthful themselves, and she's maybe got into a little tiny bit of trouble, and now she has to be here and learn to be heroic, I guess.
Speaking of a little bit of trouble, go to our next character, Joan Albright. Would you like to tell us about your character, Joan?
Hey, I am playing Vida Moreno Perez, aka Little Marvel. She is 5 inches tall, and her hobbies include riding on the back of her dog Lobo and flying on paper airplanes.
That is a wonderful pair of hobbies. Cool that you have a buddy. I think we have someone else here who has an interesting relationship. Joe Perez, would you like to tell us about your hero?
So hi everybody. I will be playing Alex and T.L.O.N, who is it's one of those things where if you ever wish you were never alone, that's kind of how this is. So there is another person or thing or entity riding along in my body.
It's like, what if your inner monologue was cool and could talk back?
Yeah, it's like Venom with less eating people.
Thank goodness.
He didn't say none. He just said
he didn't say no eating people. And that last voice, of course, you'll know him from several other podcasts. Matthew Rossi, who are you playing today?
Oh, hi. I'm playing Arvana Nanabasu. Her hero name is Shrike. It was given to her by Vida because she didn't have one. She's the daughter of a dimension-conquering supervillain named Nabasu the Annihilation, who is the son of and possibly usurper to Marduk. He claims to be a demigod, as far as Vida knows. I mean, as far as Shrike knows, that's true. And yeah, she doesn't want to be a supervillain and conquer planets. So she ended up turning against him, and now she's hanging out with these people because she doesn't really have any other friends. This is a different world. She's never met anybody. She's very, very confused.
She has her first set of friends, and that's cool. And together, you guys are a team. You are... Our characters are already a super team when we meet them, and that they have already taken on a dangerous threat. There was a part of building characters for Masks for people who haven't played this game is in the background. It's assumed that your characters have already dealt with some kind of threat to Halcyon City, our setting, which is your stereotypical multi-generational city that just happens to have superheroes. Lots of them going back, and the characters in Masks are all in their teens. They are the newest generation of heroes out to decide who they are in a world that wants to tell them who they should be. When you guys fought that first threat, which was of course the invasion by Nabasu the Annihilation, Shrike's dad, the you guys, one of the things that happened besides fighting off that threat is you guys really broke some major rules to win the fight. Liz, I'm going to go back to you. Your character Charlie is playing the delinquent, who is kind of like, as we've said, the teen who's too cool to be here. You don't play by anybody's rules. And what rules did you all break to win this fight, and whose rules were they?
Well, Charlie was not supposed to be here. She was assigned to a superhero team who was told to, yeah, you should stay at home. Leave this to the grown-ups, leave this to the big heroes. And Charlie's like, wait, you've been teaching me to be a hero. Am I supposed to? And she snuck out and was trying to help people get away, where she met Talon and Little Marvel doing something similar. And then they met Shrike, and they were... Charlie's not really big on the superhero thing. She doesn't know what you're supposed to do when you meet a supervillain, child, minion, something. But it probably isn't make friends with them and bring them home with you and just bring them onto your own superhero team, which is exactly what they did.
Yeah, that's probably not how most adults would handle it, especially when considering that you're basically on work release from some kind of juvenile detention for supers, and here you are. I guess it looks good on your record. You're being nice to people, but
something.
It's positive. It's a good thing. But this invasion was. You guys seem to have found some signs that this was just the start of something bigger. Specifically, Vida, I'm going to turn to you here. What were the signs that this was not just a single invasion?
Well, when the dropship came and started spewing enemies onto the city, what we didn't realize is that was only kind of the advanced team. So when we snuck aboard the dropship with the help of Arvana, we discovered that there were a lot more that could come after this. But fortunately, we managed to close the portal that the ship came through. So hopefully, we won't have to deal with that again for a little while.
Fine. I'm sure you'll never hear from him again. He's definitely locked away in his own dimension and unable to get here. But as Charlie mentioned, you guys really made friends with Shrike, with Arvana, who that's kind of amazing because she's from another dimension. Alex and T.L.O.N, let's turn to you two here. And it was mentioned that you guys had the four of you had a surprisingly deep connection, even though you're, a delinquent, a very small lady, and someone from another dimension, and you, a bonded symbiote host of sorts. What was the connection you all shared that led you to form a team?
Yeah, so it was one of those things where Alex wasn't even supposed to be there as well. It was a similar situation to like Charlie, where Alex's parents were they're very overprotective. They wanted him to stay away from the fight, to not get involved. But Alex has this overwhelming sense of responsibility and couldn't just stand by and wanted to get out there. And then in that moment, saving people, ushering people away, because that's always his primary focus, is saving people. This is when he notices Charlie, who, I think Charlie's a little unassuming when you first you see them. But then there's this person who maybe comes off as a little timid, doesn't maybe necessarily want to be where they are, and is essentially stamping down that fear and getting out there and just saving people. It really struck a chord with Alex. And I think at that moment, we interacted with getting people ushered to safety, me using my weird flesh crafting abilities. We'll get into that later, folks. To move rubble and create barriers, in concert with Charlie, making them not visible, or using their powers to sort of obfuscate their retreat. And then I also think in that moment that Shrike would have noticed the sort of alien nature of what I was doing. And T.L.O.N, I think, would have seen a kindred spirit, because what I'm doing, or what we do together, is not natural. It is not something that you're supposed to be able to do with flesh, or I'm going to air quote flesh. And freaks people out. Like, it is something that it makes people uncomfortable potentially. And I think in that moment, I think T.L.O.N and Shrike sort of shared a bond over the fact of, yeah, we don't get people and people don't get us. And that has led to deeper conversations between all of us, I think, from their end.
Cool. And I think that some of that with maybe Shrike isn't, as an outsider and the daughter of a multi-dimensional evil, is maybe not viewed in the best light by the public of Halcyon City, because someone important learned about your lineage and condemned both you and the people who were attempting to make friends with you. Who was it and why, Matt?
It was a guy named Beauregard Strang. He's actually a legacy himself. He was a superhero in the 40s as Blue Blazes. And he started a superhero team called the Blazes, who are kind of, at this point, it's like a training group for young superhumans, but it's kind of morphed into they've got their own channel. They've got their own channel on YouTube. They've got an Instagram. They've got like heavy Facebook presence. They're all over the place. They do a lot of streaming. Charlie didn't fit in, but when she escaped, they went looking for her. And seeing a group of superheroes, I had been ordered by my father to determine why the child superheroes weren't also jumping in to fight. So I jumped down and they attacked while I was watching them, and then I got mad because they implied that I was just one of my father's normal soldiers, and I beat them up on camera. So everybody saw the supervillain beating them up while admitting who my father was on national, literally streaming on, it's on Twitch. It's on, there's people making TikToks of it. It's everywhere. Pictures of me doing this. So yeah, a lot of people don't like me very much. And also some people then saw one of the cameras was still running, and some people saw Charlie essentially talk me down and convince me that my father was evil and that I should, not by listing all the big stuff, but by just pointing out he hurts you, doesn't he? He's evil. It's not, you shouldn't be doing this. And it worked. And I fell for it, I guess, or whatever you want to look for it. So yeah, but he doesn't like me at all because I humiliated not only him because it was his team, even though he's an older person, but his grandchild is also the current Blue Blaze number 2 is his grandchild, and they were on the team, and they went down in 10 seconds because I'm a trained alien soldier, and they were people who do Instagram. It wasn't like I'm all that great, but I'm a trained alien soldier. They do shoe commercials. It just wasn't really the same thing.
They're true. Color coordinated. There's choreography lessons. It's a whole thing.
Why is the orange one telling me her name is Orange? That's ridiculous. I can see that she's orange.
So this is our group of loners, outcasts, misfits, weirdos, friends, heroes.
Hey, misfits. That's a good hero group name, isn't it?
It is. It's also a band, though, so there's kind of a copyright thing.
And then there's Misfits of Science. Yeah,
we'll figure it out.
Most importantly, heroes. Although maybe a team without a name yet. And so that's in your all's recent past. Well, think of that as your issue 1. Obviously, our faithful readers here are now flipping to issue 2 of this still unnamed comic featuring you cool guys and gals. And so we open on one of the, I'd say, more popular stores downtown in Halcyon City. Takes up a city block by itself. As I have mentioned, Halcyon City has had heroes going all the way back to the 20s, possibly even further. It is a city with generations of heroes who have retired and gone into government and passed away from old age, as unlikely as that is, countering threats that are just as large to the city. But when you have that many people, those people have fans. And when you have those many fans, those people want to buy memorabilia and cool stuff. And so we open on A1 Hero Trading Cards and Memorabilia, which takes up an entire city block in downtown Halcyon City. Beautiful day. People are, browsing the store, looking at the shelves, looking at the stuff they can never afford hanging on the wall because it belonged to like cool heroes from the Silver Age. And suddenly there is a crash as just a brick just comes through the plate window at the front of the store, just shatters this beautiful pane of glass. Alarms go off. People are screaming, people are running, because behind this thing, through the now large opening window, are streaming these humanoid figures in this fantastic mirrored armor with these weird otherworldly weapons. And it's the perfect time for some heroes to arrive on the scene. Which of you arrives on this scene first, and how do you do it?
I have been there already. Could that be a thing?
Whoa. You were there already. What are you doing? What's Charlie doing? What's Charlie doing at the hero store? I thought Charlie didn't want to be a hero.
Charlie likes people watching.
Oh, okay.
This is where all the crowds are. You can find an out of the way place, maybe maybe an upper level of the store where you can like sit on a balcony and just watch all of these people being normal people.
Yeah, it's definitely a 2-level store. You're up on the second floor, which I think has comics, because of course there are comics of the other heroes in the city relating exploits, true and maybe a bit exaggerated. Since you're there, how do you react to this sudden weird, almost like a little miniature like troop storming their way into the store?
Why can't we ever just have a normal day? Why does every day in the city have to be like this?
Charlie flips her hair, rolls her eyes, and then we cut to the next panel where another hero makes their way to the scene. Who's next?
I think Alex would probably be shortly there behind. I think Alex frequents this place because Alex likes comic books. He's not a very overtly social kid to begin with. Honestly, and he's trying to use comics to explain to T.L.O.N what humanity is, because that's what his grandfather did for him. So I think we would have been like on our way there, and I think me and T.L.O.N are sort of like arguing over whether or not comics are important. Alex absolutely like these are important documents. Like, they're going to help you understand humanity. Nothing distills it down as perfect as, a comic where like there are heroes and bad guys and everything is clearly well defined. And T.L.O.N's like, I don't know about that, Alex. That seems pretty fun. Oh, wait, what? Oh, sweet. Something's going on. We don't have to have this conversation anymore. Let's go. And then and then immediately Alex winds up suiting up as T.L.O.N sort of like takes over. And this is very much a like symbiote situation where, in this case, it looks like oil slick armor is the default. So I look kind of like a combination of like a Power Ranger / Guyver, where it's like the armor like has shifting colors of purples and blues and blacks, and then immediately start like, I don't whip my way in because I don't have like shooters or anything like that, but my arms extend into like weird hooks as I start propelling myself forward through like buildings and from streetlights and things like that to try to swing into action.
Organic Commando, the game.
Kinda.
Oh, that's cool. I like that a lot. All right, but not far behind you will be Little Marvel and Shrike. How do you all how do you guys arrive on the scene?
I assume that Vida has been showing me the city.
Yeah, I'm actually introducing you today to tacos and sushi.
Okay, I understand the fish. We eat fish. What is this cone of something? It's not a cone. It's like a U? What is this?
It's a taco. Just eat it. It's good.
I begin picking out individual pieces from the taco, like, okay, and like putting them in my mouth, like I think it's a bowl or something.
No, like this.
What do you do? You just like, oh, okay. I attempt to do that. Gonna have to taco on myself. Is it supposed to do this?
I give most of mine to Lobo.
I'm just going to assume that the only taco truck in the city that serves tacos sized appropriately for a 5-inch tall person is, of course, directly across the street from this crime in progress. You mentioned Lobo. Do you want to tell the people about Lobo, who's almost as important a character as far as I'm concerned?
Yeah, so Lobo is an Estrella mountain dog. He's a trained service animal. He can even put his saddle on by himself.
That is impressive.
He helps me out in super hearing by helping me reach places that I couldn't by myself. Or actually, he's more of he makes it easier for people to see me because I am very small.
It's true.
He
You'd
can
be very
also
easy to
retrieve
overlook.
objects for me, and he does get hungry.
Alrighty. I'm assuming you guys are will be charging into this fray as well.
As soon as
Since you're there.
as soon as there's any kind of noise of something, I'd be like,
yeah.
something understandable.
Yeah, I think you see like these. Like I said, I think you guys see these same individuals. You all, and I guess Alex also coming from another, see them from the outside, whereas Charlie's seen them from the inside. So they basically kind of, like I said, they smashed open the giant plate window because it's more convenient than trying to stream single file through the doors into this place. And they're tromping all over the displays in the window. Those animals. It's like a troop of humanoid figures. Their armor is very shiny, almost mirror metallic looking, and they're carrying strange looking, like these aren't ordinary sidearms that they're carrying. And they are entering the store, and people are running out in a panic. There are sounds of crashing from the inside, things being knocked over. Charlie, you can see that they seem to be ransacking the place looking for something. And if you guys are going to engage them together, then we are going to actually get into our first move of the game, although actually no one has to roll dice for this one, which is entering a battle against a dangerous foe as a team.
Yay!
All right, so, and this will be interesting. When you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team, you add 2 to your team. Team is kind of a meta currency you guys can spend to help each other out, or in some cases, hinder each other. I'm sure no one would need to do that. But first, we need to answer some questions. Which one of you is the leader right now? Or who is acting as the leader of your impromptu team, I guess?
I would assume Charlie, just because Charlie was there.
Oh,
we don't know what's going on.
okay, maybe in this case, I was about to say not it, but maybe in this case, yes, it.
We're putting Charlie in charge.
I feel like the concept of leader for this group is
we're putting
more or
Charlie
less
in
whoever's
charge.
telling them what to do.
Really? No, we are not skipping past this. Really, Phil?
I did not do it on purpose, but I realized as soon as the words came out of my mouth how hilarious it was. Thank you.
Of our days and our nights. I don't know what your problem is. I want Charlie in charge of me.
Oh no. Okay. All right, so we've decided that Charlie is our leader. Charlie, what other members of your team do you have influence over?
I think Shrike and Talons.
Okay.
You have
All right.
influence over me also.
All right, so the first beginning, it's... Oh, you have it on everybody? Okay, so then your team adds another team to the pool. That's 3. Does everyone have the same purpose in this fight?
Stop the bad guys, I think, is
Stop
a pretty...
the bad guys?
Yeah. Save the store, stop the bad guys.
Sounds pretty straightforward. Well, another one.
I was having a nice quiet afternoon, and then this.
Ooh, now let's go over revelatory. Does anyone mistrust the leader or the team? Let's get right into the drama right off the bat.
No,
I'm good.
I was gonna say I think Talons is pretty okay with everybody. I don't think there's really any mistrust there.
Yeah, you guys are pretty tight right now. And I'm gonna say you're not really ill prepared or off balance. You know, they didn't truly catch you by surprise. You guys are pretty on point here. So
when you're surprised by literally everything happening all the time, then you're not surprised by anything, really.
Yeah, and it's you're just kind of in a constant state of low level surprise, Shrike. So this is like another, you're like, okay, sure, they're breaking into a store. This probably happens all the time in this dimension. All right, so you guys have 4 team in your pool. That may come up later. But all right, so we'll kind of zoom in. We would zoom in. We see the like I said, these figures are inside. They're looking through memorabilia, they're ransacking through their paraphernalia, they're looking at the expensive stuff especially, but also some of the newer stuff on the racks. Charlie, team leader, first on the scene, reluctant hero, what do you do?
Well, I would like to assess the situation. I would like to see what before I can stop them, I have to know what they're doing. What are they looking for?
Okay, so what are you doing to like what does this look like when you're assessing the situation? What are you actually doing here?
Okay. So I was on an upper level, kind of out of the way, watching people. So I'm using my vantage point and making sure if I see anyone maybe looking this way, I make an illusion that like makes them look the other way. I mean, that's kind of my skill set, is to make people look somewhere else when I'm here.
So you're kind of keeping low. You're keeping people notice off of you, and you're trying to see what's up. That sounds good to me.
Yes.
Go ahead and so assess the situation is a basic move in this game that says when you assess the situation, roll and add your superior stat. In this game, our heroes have five stats, that are 5 labels that aren't really so much traditional stats as how they view themselves,
which will shift over time.
Yes, they are constantly shifting. Because you're a teenager, your self-image is moldable both by you and those around you. They are danger, mundane, savior, superior, and freak. Most of which are pretty self-explanatory. In this case, Charlie's going to be rolling 2 6-sided dice and adding her superior stat.
I also have a move called Criminal Mind, which when I assess the situation, I can always ask one of the following questions, even on a miss. And I would like to know, what here is useful or valuable to me? Like, is there specifically trying to hone in, is there an item they have that they're using? Is there an item they appear to be looking for that might be useful to me in this situation?
Okay, so go ahead and roll. We'll get all your questions.
That is a 9.
All right. On a 7 to 9, you get to ask one question from the Assess the Situation list plus your Criminal Minds list. So whichever one you want.
So I do want the what is useful or valuable to me, like either what are they looking for or what items do they have that are being useful to them that maybe I could get in the way of.
Okay. Okay. So they're kind of dividing into 2 teams, and you see them kind of heading for 2 parts of the store. One is there's a little wing off to the left, which is not as well trafficked, but it's fairly popular by people who consider themselves like big hero heads. And this is there's a room of trading cards, and specifically the hot item in this room is always rookie hero trading cards, because you want to say you were there when they first got their start. And as this team came in, they kind of streamed into like 2 like subgroups, and one group of them is kind of headed off to this side room towards the like I said, the where a lot of the trading cards, and especially the rookie cards, are kept, which is kind of weird, but you figure maybe somebody wants them because they'll be valuable someday. The other group is heading up the stairs rapidly. You've kind of had to duck out of their notice to avoid them. Is heading upstairs to the 3rd floor, which is where they keep the really expensive stuff. Like if this was a Marvel comic setting, this would be like where here's where like an old shield that Captain America had that the government doesn't want back for some reason is hanging on a wall, and if you've got $100,000, you can come buy it and hang it in your house. Like relics of old heroes of Halcyon City. The 3rd floor is almost like a museum, but occasionally someone does buy one of the expensive pieces up there. So those are kind of the 2 places that they're heading. So you assume they're looking. You don't know if the rookie thing is a distraction or what, but you know that they are definitely heading for the expensive stuff. What's your other question?
Does anyone in here strike me as being a leader of the group?
Not that you can see. These guys seem to be. They got their orders from somewhere. You don't see anyone like actively like ordering them what to do. No one on the scene seems to be in charge. They are kind of acting autonomously on whatever they're supposed to be doing. And one other thing that happens though, as you're watching, and as your teammates start swinging through the swinging or riding or flying through the door, someone else shows up in response to the alarms with their little camera drone in tow. Your old ex-teammate and immediate distruster of the whole team. Blue Blazes 2 is on the scene and is also here to help quell this threat. Although first they immediately dive in and just kind of they have super speed as their thing, and they just kind of do like a kind of a zooming punch on one of these like soldiers, and then they just immediately get like pistol whipped back, and their drone catches all of this. But now they are also on the scene. Talon, let's say you're next because you were making your rapid organic commando approach. You flesh hooks swing your way through the window and kind of land behind everyone else. And you see what I was describing as Charlie, where you kind of have these two teams that have split up. Blue Blaze kind of lying clocked out on the floor. What do you do?
So how many of them are down here on the first floor, roughly, give or take?
Let's say there were probably 12 of them in total. You think there are 6 down here and 6 upstairs.
Okay, so I'm going to try to get the attention of the 6 down here because they're wrecking the joint and people are here, and I want their attention to be focused on me. So I am going to attempt to provoke. And it's like, listen, guys, I appreciate the fact that you're wearing mirror armor. I love looking at myself as much as anybody else, but it's so last season. Come on.
Okay. When you provoke someone susceptible to your words, say what you're trying to get them to do, which you did. They're focusing on you, and to focus on you instead of committing crimes. And roll plus superior.
That is an 11.
Oh, jeez. Okay. For NPCs on a 10+, they rise to the bait and do what you want. Yeah. So I think these 6 figures all kind of look at each other, and you kind of hear like a weird whirring noise, and then they all turn and face back to you, and they level they have these things that almost look like super futuristic shotguns, and they level them at you, and they are now booking it across the room towards you, and they are taking some pot shots, and it is firing these like weird, almost like ragged laser shots, if that makes sense. You see a laser in a comic, it looks smooth normally. These are kind of like, they're ragged. They make like a crackling sound as they go past you, and they burn into whatever they hit. And this troop of 6 soldiers is now hot on your tail.
And I think do I notice Charlie on the second floor?
I think that's up to Charlie because she's keeping herself well hidden with her. I said she's got her illusion powers. Charlie, are you signaling to Talon that you're here? Or are you
I think when I see Talons, I'll try and make sure he knows that I'm up here and I have my eyes on this.
Okay, there you go. You see your teammate.
As I'm dodging.
I have like a.
Go ahead.
Maybe I have like a signal that we've worked out, like a flash of light or something.
In true smartass fashion, I as I'm dodging like the shotgun shots that are coming at me, I wave, I point to the blue blazes down on the ground and give 2 thumbs up, and then start going back into the fight.
Oh my god, Blue Blaze is so upset by this. I'm gonna go ahead and say, actually, take influence over Blue Blaze.
Yes!
Nonsense. They are so upset. Shrike, what's up? What do you do? You're next on the scene. I'm gonna say, what do you do? You're seeing all this happening.
I come tearing in, like flying, and I look and see the people shooting at Talons, and my eyes go like kind of orange red, and I just unleash my powers to like create a gravity hammer. Like I'm literally just smashing the ground where they are standing as they're running towards him. Just bang! This thing, trying to get as many of them as.
Cool. Yeah, you've got like weird cosmic powers that are like cool and not well defined, and we love it.
Yeah.
Okay, so that definitely sounds like an unleash your powers to me. When you unleash your powers to overcome an obstacle, which sounds like enemy soldiers. So this could be unleashing your powers if you're trying, or you could be directly engaging a threat. What would you say this is? I'm fine either way.
I'm told that directly, if you can pick directly engaging a threat over unleash your powers, you should. Like it's unleash your powers is for weird stuff. This isn't that weird. This is literally I hit them.
Yeah, unleash your powers is kind of like, the way to think of it is like if you're trying to do something that's kind of outside your immediate power set, or you're trying to do something that's new to you, or you're trying to do something that might be kind of weird. It specifically lists overcoming an obstacle, reshaping your environment, or extending your senses as examples.
Yeah,
this just sounds like you're hammering some dudes. So in that case, roll and add your danger stat.
Okay. 4 and 2 is 6. So just a 7.
Okay. Cool. So on a 7 and 9, you are going to get to you're going to hit them. You're going to hit them pretty good. You also get to pick one off of that list of options on directly engage a threat, which for the people at home is resist or avoid their blows, take something from them, create an opportunity for your allies, or impress, surprise, or frighten the opposition. You get to pick one of those 4.
I'm going to go with create an opportunity for my allies, because I'm going to bring myself down as the focal point of the hammer, so that anybody who gets hit by it is literally like I do a superhero landing, because I've been watching movies with Vida and I'm now aware that this is something you're supposed to do. Like, I don't know why, but they all do it, so it must be important. So that's how I bring down the gravity hammer. I just kind of go boom right in the middle of them, and I by doing that I create a wave of force that gives people opportunities later. I guess it knocks them off their feet or whatever. I then look around, see blue blazes on the floor, and say, "Are you going to be on your back every single time I meet you?"
All right. Blue Blaze has had a not great day and was not planning to immediately get knocked out. Stands up and goes, "Oh, you're back with some of your minions again, huh?" And he turns to Joan and he says, "I want you to get all this." And he turns to face you, and he is just going to come directly at you swinging. He can't touch you. He's fast, but you're faster. But he's putting on a show for the camera, and he is giving you a little speech about how you should have stayed on your home world, you alien freak. You're not one of us. You're no hero. He is attempting to shift your labels. He is going to attempt to shift your freak up and your savior down. I believe you can either accept this, just take it as it is, or you can attempt to reject. Yes, reject his influence. There it is.
Okay. How do I reject his influence? Do I roll something?
You just roll a flat 2d6 and don't add anything to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, give me a sec. Okay, I got a 10 on that one. Just a straight
Okay. Okay, on a 10, you successfully tune out blue blazes. I mean, honestly, you may not even understand everything he's saying, but you also get to pick two things off of this list. Clear a condition or mark potential by immediately acting to prove them wrong. Shift one label up and one label down, your choice. The third option is cancel their influence and take +1 forward against them. You get to pick two of those because you rolled a 10.
Okay. I definitely want to reject what he's saying and do something like I'm going to try to bump up my. I'm actually going to bump up my freak.
Okay.
Well, I know he was trying to do that, but I'm going to do it. But I'm going to one down my my mundane.
Okay.
So from mundane goes from 0 to -1. Freak goes to +1. And while I'm literally, as he's attacking, I just sidestep his punches a few times and say, "Yes, I decided to attack you here with the minions I just crushed under my own gravity hammer because you're that impressive." Vida, am I doing this right? This is dissing him? I don't know. He tries to punch my face.
Yeah, go you!
As I'm flipping underneath one of the punches that are coming in, I yell to because obviously he has somebody on camera with him or taking camera. It's like, make sure you get this. Make sure you get how Blue Blazes is absolutely insane and doesn't know what's going on around him. Is it dementia? We don't know. Well, that's a fist.
Charlie would like to get in on this and make Blue Blazes see extra copies of Shrike, like she's coming at him from other side. She wants the camera to make him look like he's jumping at shadows, essentially.
Okay. Yeah.
Here's a question. Are your illusions visible or are they just psionic? Could do only the people you do you see them?
That's a good question. No, I think they're visible. Though, you would know. You would know this is a thing that she does.
Yeah, we would, but would the camera person know? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, can the
Was there a camera person or was it a drone?
There's it is a drone. The blazes all have an assigned drone, color coded. Of course.
I may not.
You know
Charlie
that.
may
You
not have thought
yours.
that through.
I suspect Charlie smashed hers.
Actually, it'd be hilarious if she still had it and talked to it.
or Alex may have taken it apart when he was bored one day. Who knows?
It makes espresso now.
Records her journal with it.
Dear diary. Okay, so are you just trying to? Okay, so are you actually trying to provoke him, trying to trigger this move, or are you just basically trying to make him look like an idiot a little more, which is fine.
I'm
no move required for that.
Yeah, I am trying to make him look like an idiot. Actually, for that, it would make more sense for them not to only be visible to him.
Okay. Yeah. So Blue Blaze kind of jumps back from Arvana, and he's jumping from clones of Arvana that only he can see, so he looks absolutely loony right now. It looks like he took a really bad hit to the head. Vida, you and Lobo end up on this situation where let's not forget that in addition to Blue Blaze here, there are some crushed folks on the ground, and I'll say you noticed something, and Shrike would have noticed this too immediately as she smashed them. These aren't people. It becomes obvious when you flatten them like a pancake with a gravity hammer, but these appear to be robots, some kind of android soldiers.
Simuloids.
Exactly. And
I know simuloids.
They are in. They have those on your world,
Yes.
and they are definitely. Several of them are definitely in pieces on the ground now. Vida, you get in there. Like this crew downstairs is pretty much like they're off track now. There's a couple of them that are chasing Talons, but three or four of them just got wiped off the map by Shrike. What would you like to do, my tiny friend?
First, I'll make sure everybody knows. Guys, they're just robots.
Important
and then I'm going to, I'm going to have Lobo tackle one of them.
Okay. All right. So that is directly engaging.
Lobo should have advantage or something because I set up, move the thing I set up was that.
Yes, you created an opportunity which will give this a +1 forward, which means, Joan, whatever you roll on this, you will add a +1 to the result on top of everything else. So this will.
I'm rolling danger.
I believe so. Does the beacon have any kind? The beacon has some kind of special move with their. If you have a companion, right? I don't.
Let me see. A beacon moves.
I'm relying on you guys to know your moves because I don't have the
seek,
mask in front
fetch,
of me.
and speak are my specific moves.
Okay, so this is still in Lobo's wheelhouse. They're a sizable dog, but they're not like specially trained in fighting or anything. Okay, cool. So this will just be a standard directly engage a threat roll, which is plus danger, and don't forget to add an additional 1.
Minus danger.
No, you're not very dangerous. Yes.
Cancel each other out. We have 6.
Okay.
Not a
okay. So a 6, unfortunately, is a miss in the system. Mark
potential.
Yes. You learn through failure, which is cool. But so you mark potential, which is this game's version of experience points, etc. And then you are you're 5 inches tall with a dog, and sometimes the world likes to remind you that you're 5 inches tall and riding a dog. And this robot is just going to turn and it starts firing at you, and that's too difficult. It's kind of pumping shots into the floor, and it actually just kind of smacks you with the butt of a gun, and you go flying off of Lobo. Mark any condition of your choice to define how Vida's feeling in this moment. Conditions are afraid, angry, guilty, insecure, and hopeless.
Insecure.
Okay, so Vida is now insecure because she, this is cool. She was going to be a hero. This is going to be her moment, and this robot said no. Sometimes the world reminds you that you're very tiny. Charlie, what's up? What's next? What are you doing? You've seen this whole situation downstairs. You've tormented your old team leader a little bit, but now there's, like I said, there's a whole troop of robots headed upstairs past you. What are you doing?
Yeah, I think I want to follow these guys coming upstairs past me, and I want to figure out what they're trying to get, and anything I can do with. I want to keep them confused and not finding. Maybe. Could I use illusions to make them see, it seems like they're heading towards this sort of archive of superhero ancient memorabilia, and maybe I make them look in a different direction. Maybe they see, the sign is on, that's actually, the janitor's closet, the maintenance area. They just see that, it has the sign that says, oh, this is where all the really expensive stuff is. This is where you want to go.
Okay, cool. So it sounds like you want to kind of distract them from what they're doing. That's cool. So this sounds like this may be a little outside your wheelhouse immediately, but this sounds like an unleash your powers role. You're reshaping your environment, I would say. So in that case, go ahead and roll plus freak.
And that's not my best.
It's because you're not a freak.
That's a 7.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so on a 7 to 9, you do what you want, but either A, you mark a condition, or B, I will tell you how the effect is unstable or temporary.
Tell me how it's unstable or temporary. I
Okay.
embrace this.
Okay, so you're good at creating illusions, but what you're trying to do is create a lot of illusions, and you are trying to create them
Yeah.
across a widespread area. You can't permanently misdirect them with this. I think what happens is like you manage to put up like, a flickering sign that's like this way to the champion exhibit. Like they turn and they open it, and like before they would open the door, they see that, oh, this is just like you said, this is the janitor's closet. This is the fire exit. You make it so they look at a row of items and suddenly every one of them looks like the right item. And so they're kind of like, they're all just like staring at the wall, but then the illusions kind of like flicker and like visibly glitch out and then fade. You can delay them, but you can't stop them this way. But you do buy some valuable time for the rest of your team.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's cool. Let's jump back to the rest of the team. Talons, what's up?
So I think I see Vida go to make a move and kind of not be able to complete it, and I think this is where Talons immediately goes into protector mode. So I'm going to move to get in front of Vida and defend, and try to make a barrier so that Vida can get their wits about them, which I think is a plus savior roll, which should be a flat roll for me.
Mm-hmm. So just to be clear, when you say make a barrier, are you making a barrier out of your own flesh?
Yeah. So for those of you at home, the way that this works is I want you to think of like what you've seen like symbiotes do in like Spider-Man movies or comics or things like that. The way that Talons works is very similar, except it's considered flesh mutation or transmutation. So everything that I do is a construct made out of the essence of T.L.O.N. So it's a little unnerving, but it's also kind of cool in a science fiction kind of way.
Yep. It's probably looks really cool on the page, I imagine.
Cool. I've got a 9 flat, so I believe I'm able to clear condition, but I'm the one now that is in danger.
Yes, you are in danger, but you can clear Vida's condition. So Vida, you're not afraid. You're not, insecure anymore.
As I'm literally like it's that scene where like my front is facing you, the back, like my back extends out into like a shield, and I got you, Hermano. Don't worry about it.
Oh my god, you're that meme of the soldier protecting the sleeping.
Yeah.
I love it. Okay.
Gracias.
So yeah, you are definitely now in danger.
And then I scream at, and then I want to finish it with screaming to Shrike, "We got this down here. Go help Charlie."
Okay. So we'll turn to Vida first. Vida, you've got Talons protecting you, but they are definitely taking pot shots at him at this point with their lasers. T.L.O.N can protect him for a while, but flesh wasn't designed to withstand weird, ripping, burning lasers. What do you do?
I'm going to grab a pair of model rockets out of Lobo's saddlebags and point them at the guys shooting lasers.
Okay. So you got some little rockets. That'll work. That sounds again like attempting to directly engage a threat. So let's take another shot at this. Roll plus danger.
Alrighty.
Let's be dangerous.
Oh, same roll.
Oh, okay. All right. So what happens, do you think? Are they not effective, or does this not go like you planned? How does this go badly?
I think I accidentally break a display behind them instead of hitting, and merchandise comes crashing to the ground.
Okay, yeah. So you make a bad situation worse, and just like there's I think a glass rack behind you, floor to ceiling, and it's just down, gone. And then at the same time, since you were in danger, Talons, and this did not help get you out of it. Sorry, give me just a second. Yeah, I think one of the things that like suddenly like you're feeling the heat on your back from these lasers, and suddenly like it feels hotter than before. You kind of risk a look over your shoulder, and you realize that where there were 2 of those guys, there now appear to be 4 of those guys. You're not even sure. Like Shrike was watching, and Yeah, they just kind of popped out of nowhere. But we'll get back to you two in a second. Shrike, you Talons wanted you to go upstairs to fight the ones up on the top floor, but your friends are in danger. What are you going to do?
Okay. This time, I'm pretty sure this is Unleash Your Powers. I'm going to sense for electromagnetic energy fields and so forth, specifically since these are simuloids, something that would be used to control them at distance.
Ooh, okay.
And if I find it, I will be making use of it.
Okay.
So it's like Unleash Your Senses, I guess?
I like it. Let's roll. Roll plus freak.
Oh, my freak's shifted up, right?
Yes, your freak should have. You shifted your own freak up.
Okay. 4 and 4 is 8. So 9.
Okay.
The freak's roasted up one.
Okay. So on a 7 to 9, you're going to do what you want, but you either mark a condition or I tell you how it's unstable or temporary.
Can you give me an idea for what condition you would be appropriate for this?
Well, there's only a handful of them, right?
Yeah, so
I don't think this would make me afraid.
Might make you angry.
Actually, I do know one way that this will make you afraid. I'll tell you what happens.
All right, I'll go with that.
So you do kind of sense that yes, these robots, these simuloids, as you would call them, where you're from, you do feel there's an electromagnetic signal. It kind of originates at a distance, but you can kind of tell that maybe there is a beacon nearby controlling them. The problem is once you kind of engage with them in that, like on that electrical level, that beacon, that signal, that the robots themselves feel a little bit too familiar. This feels exactly like the robotic shock troops that your father used to send into combat alongside the more trained soldiers, your simuloid grunts, the cannon fodder of Nabasu's army. They don't look like them, but inside they feel like them. And you are suddenly afraid.
Saddlemark. These are Saddlemark.
Afraid or angry? I'll let you
go
take
with
your
afraid.
Choice.
No, I'll go with afraid because I am scared of my father. These are Saddlemark.
Does anyone know what that word means besides you?
No, absolutely nobody knows what that word means.
Just checking. So these things have freaked Shrike out. But you are able to temporarily, using your cosmic powers, you can hijack this electromagnetic signal for a little bit if you want. But the beacon is fairly close by, and you have a feeling it is controlling them, controlling them directly, and will overcome your control. So, but you temporarily have control of these robots. What would you like to do? They kind of stop dead in their tracks.
Using what I know about them, do they have any means to make them self-destruct, or is that something my father wouldn't do?
No, he absolutely would, because one of the best things you can do with cannon fodder is throw them at an enemy barricade and blow them up. That's probably the best thing about using entirely mechanical opponents. Yes.
All right. I'm assuming I can only get the ones that are around me, like not the ones upstairs with Charlie?
We'll say you can get some of the ones that are closer upstairs. Some of them are probably too far in. There will probably be 3 upstairs out of the 6 that evade your notice, but that are like out of your range.
Okay.
You don't have enough bars of cosmic Wi-Fi, but the
3
that
knew I should have got the 4G plan.
Yeah, so like Charlie redirected 3 of them, so they're kind of still closer to the stairs where they came up, and then there's these ones that are downstairs, the 4 that are down here. You've got control of those, and you can absolutely have them blow themselves up if you want.
That's what I do. I trigger their self-destruct.
Okay. Talons, you feel one last burst of like heat at your back, and then it stops suddenly, and there's a smell of smoke and burning mechanical parts. And anybody who looks will see that there is now just a pile of There's robot scrap all over this store now. Pages of comics fluttering down from above. Downstairs crew, you can still hear a little activity upstairs. There's something going on up there. You don't think Shrek got them all.
Anybody who's looking at me can see that my hands are shaking and I'm like chewing on my lip and looking around.
Clearly freaked out. Charlie, you're upstairs. 3 of the robots up there with you just blew themselves up as far as you can tell. But 3 of them are three of them are gunning for a corner room full of Silver Age artifacts. What do you do?
Would I possibly have any idea what's in there that they would be looking for?
So this sounds like you are... So you're trying to figure out what they're doing, yes.
What I would like to do is if if I could think up what they're looking for, if I could like go and try to provoke them with an illusion saying, "Hey, I've got your thing."
Okay.
But it would require me to have something, I think.
Or at least to see what they do, which means you might need to let them get a little clue close to what they're doing, but you can do it. Yeah, so you run into the room where these guys are at, and you see them pulling down from the wall. It's a large round shield. The front of it is polished to a mirror sheen. And it has a signal. It has a kind of a symbol on it that looks almost like a spiral of thread. Yeah, they are taking this shield down off the wall. If you're going to do something to fool them, now is your opportunity.
So yes, I would try to provoke them. I would like to show them. I would like to be standing with them and like holding, not like right in melee range with them. I would like them to see me holding the shield and be like, "Oh, you're taking that duplicate? Good luck with that."
I believe as the delinquent, you have a move specifically for this when you're misleading, distracting, or tricking people. Am I correct?
I do have. Are you watching closely? You're exactly right. When you mislead, distract, or trick someone, roll plus superior on a hit. They are fooled at least for a moment. On a 10 plus, choose 3. On a 7, 9, choose 2. Okay. That's a 9.
Okay.
So I can choose 2 of these things. I would like to confuse them for some time.
Okay.
And, okay, there's one here that says you get an opportunity, but I don't know what that means in the context of this game.
Okay, well, so we'll start with the first one. You do confuse it for some time. This illusion holds. You see that shield, you're like, I can make that. Boom. You have one on your arm now. So it's really kind of a broad term. Narratively, you have created some kind of opportunity for yourself or another by like you've distracted these guys. Maybe they actually put down the real one to chase you. Maybe they open themselves up to one of your teammates who's coming upstairs. One of your more punchy teammates. Maybe it's really any kind of positive opportunity that you can think of in the narrative is like that's what you get out of this.
Okay, so yeah, I would like to get an opportunity, and my goal is to show them the shield, run out, and like hopefully find some of my other teammates who can punch things.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say the opportunity in this case is maybe you lead them straight into an ambush.
Mm-hmm.
Other teammates, what does that ambush look like?
So I think go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You go first.
I was gonna say if Charlie's leading them back after I've made sure that Vida's okay. Honestly, I would probably be waiting to trip these things up. So you'd see like tendrils come off of the armor and like try to grab at their feet as they're either running past or as they're trying to get at her, so that they creates an opportunity for Shrike or Vida to then smash into the smithereens.
I love it. Okay, so are you directly engaging a threat?
I think it has to be, right? I don't think I have a choice on that one.
What it sounds like, yeah. Yep. Give me your plus danger.
It's an 11 on the dice plus 1, my friend.
Beautiful. All right. You trade blows with these things, and since it's a 10, you get to pick 2 off that list of options.
So in this particular case, I'm going to create an opportunity for my allies, which is going to try to knock them on the ground. And I think I'm going to take another one, and I think this is going to be funny, so I'm going to do this, where I think I'm going to impress Blue Blazes, where like this is just so clean, and like it is just like absolutely like flawless maneuver, and I do like a little flare at the end, like after I'm done like engaging with these and tripping these up, like I do like the flamenco stance with my one hand up in the air and like my other arm like upturned with the fingers pointed up, and I'm just like, aha, because it's funny.
I think for Blue Blazes, the worst thing in the world has happened. His drone is focusing on you because whoever's running it back at Blazes HQ is like, this is the real show. Look at this kid. Yeah, Blue Blazes is seething, trying to get at these robots because his drone is not focusing on him. He is not the show right now. You are the show. Yeah, you just like tentacles just lash out and grab these things, and you hear a loud clang as the shield hits the floor because these dudes they are flat on their back. And I think that is going to like. You actually take them hard enough that like one of them falls to the floor, one of them falls off the balcony and lands on the others below. And you realize as you were waiting for your other teammates to come engage that they've all just you've deactivated them. You've hit them hard enough with that they stop moving. So that camera just saw you stop a threat to the city in a way that a Blaze couldn't, which is amazing.
And I think I ended as like out of my chest comes like a black like hand, and so I high five myself. Basically you see Alex high fiving T.L.O.N.
Love it.
Oh boy.
Perfect. But for the moment, it is quiet suddenly in this building where the people you got the innocents all got out before this happened. I think there's a store owner who was kind of cowering behind a register below and is kind of looking up like, you guys get them all?
I think so. You good?
Yeah, we're good down here. Thank you.
Sorry for the mess.
It happens. We've got insurance. All right. So yeah, I don't think Blue Blaze says anything to you guys. He came to kind of try and stop this evil, and then if you were here, he was of course going to be a snarky, rude person. Oh. I think he just physically grabs his drone and just stalks off. His shoulders are just like hunched. He's like just like grumbling to himself.
I'm waving to the drone as it's leaving. Don't forget to look us up. We're going to be on social media later. And I just look at everybody, and in this moment, we're the Mavericks.
There you go.
I blow the camera a kiss.
We love it. Oh my gosh. All right, Mavericks. That was perfect.
It's a synonym for misfit and not copyrighted.
It is. It's perfect. Have you been sitting here with a thesaurus open, like, which word is good for the team name?
I literally did, yes. I sat here with thesaurus.com open, looking for different words, and I was like, I was going to end this with us doing something like this. So here we go.
Alrighty. For the moment, the Mavericks have won their second big confrontation, and all is quiet in the store. You are surrounded by the wreckage of robots, but who were they here for? What were they here for? And why did they want it? Questions.
So did they come out carrying that shield, or did they leave it and run after me?
They were carrying it with them just on the off chance that you were lying. But when Talons flung them to the floor, the real one just like maybe like skidded across the floor.
Do I sense anything about that shield? Like, is it giving off weird energies?
Let's see. So go ahead and
again if you want.
Yeah, go ahead and give me an Unleash Your Powers roll.
This is not considered directly engaging, so it doesn't have the penalty from being afraid.
Correct. This is the conditions each only affect the move that they say they do. So I don't remember which one affects Unleash Your Powers off the top of my head.
Hopeless.
Yeah, you're not hopeless.
Okay. Oh, that's a 4 with the bonus.
There's something weird about this shield. Of course it belonged to a superhero, but you don't know what. The other heroes can kind of fill you in on who this belonged to, and of course you guys would know this. It is it belonged to a Silver Age hero, like everything else in this room. It was a shield that belonged to a hero called Perseus Pyrite. Much like Little Marvel, Perseus didn't actually have real heroes. Real powers. What Perseus had was pluck, grit, and money. And one of his signature weapons was, in fact, this mirror shield that he once used to reflect the breath of a space hydra. You thought I was going to say a space Medusa, but I didn't. And Perseus got famous fighting off aliens, and then eventually got old as normal, but extremely buff humans do, and hung up the shield.
I think I want to finish this too, by the way, with one last thing. As we're all communicating about this, I think I walk over to Shrike, and I put my regular hand and one of Talon's hands on Shrike's shoulder, and I'm like, "You did good. You did really, really good. It may not matter much, but I'm proud of you." And I'm trying to comfort Shrike to clear the condition.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good, because I'm sure her hands are still shaky. Go ahead and roll plus mundane.
That is a 10, which I think is good.
It is. On a hit, they hear you. They mark potential, clear condition, or shift labels if they open up to you, which will be up to Shrike. On a 10 plus, you can also add a team to the pool, which doesn't apply on this, or clear condition yourself, which also doesn't apply here. But this is really up to Shrike. Does this get through to you? Does having your teammate comfort you hit?
Well, it looks like it wouldn't. I almost give Alex a look like I don't need help, but then I
it was an 8, by the way, not a 10. I have -2 in mundane. Still hits.
Okay. It still does this. Yeah.
I look at the hand from the T.L.O.N hand, and I instead bite it back and go, they're from my father's military. They're used as shock troops. They shouldn't be here. And I thought he must be here. But why would he want some shield from some old person who didn't even have my father would never want something from someone who didn't have power.
I think this is best for a conversation over pastelillos. Yeah? Yeah? I looked at the rest of the team.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the what is it called? I don't remember what you was potential or something.
You mark potential, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna mark potential for that one instead of clearing the condition. I think I would still be afraid, but I would definitely. I'm more opening up to T.L.O.N than Alex, but I am opening up, and since they're merged, it's like opening up to one is opening up to the.
Yeah, the lines between us sort of get blurrier as time goes on.
Like everybody notices that Shrike is also looking a lot more at Alex than she was before. Like in the time that you've known her, she's now stopping to look at you every so often, trying to weigh what just happened.
Alex has no idea and is completely oblivious to this, but I think that this is where
one of the other two girls in the team might be able to pick it up.
Yeah, Alex has had no interaction with any female outside of superheroing or his mom, so he has no idea. And I think this is probably a good place for us to break this episode, at least episode or issue 1. So Phil, take us out.
Yep. So obviously you guys have, you've taken on a hero, taken on a villain. Sorry. You've taken on a villain. You've fought off.
We took on a hero too.
These robots, these simuloids, and a hero, I guess. And you've saved the day, the store, and the merch. But why are robots here with technology from Nabasu? What did they want the shield of a seemingly unpowered hero for? Questions for next time on the Mavericks.
Blizzard Watch is made possible due to the generous contributions at patreon.com/BlizzardWatch. Your continued support means that this podcast site and community is able to thrive and grow. Blizzard Watch supporters enjoy exclusive benefits like early access to our podcast, a better chance at having your questions answered on our podcast with a queue, and an ads-free site experience. Thank you for joining us this week, friends. We'll catch you next time.